Last week, Vice President Harris and I visited Atlanta, Georgia, the cradle of civil rights in America. We paused and prayed at the crypt of Dr. and Mrs. King. We met members of their family, Dr. Bernice King, Martin Luther King III, his wife, Andrea, his daughter, Yolanda. We met students who were changing the world, just like generations of young people before them had done that. In fact, Dr. King was just one of those young people, 15-year-old student at Morehouse College when he began his journey to fulfill the promise of America for all Americans. A promise that holds that we're all created equal and deserve to be treated equally throughout our lives. Dr. King wasn't just a dreamer of that promise, he was a doer. And on this federal holiday that honors him, it's not just enough to praise him. We must commit to his unfinished work, to deliver jobs and justice, to protect the sacred right to vote, the right from which all other rights flow. The attack on our democracy is real, from the January 6th insurrection to the onslaught of Republicans' anti-voting laws in a number of states. It's no longer just about who gets to vote. It's about who gets to count the vote and whether your vote counts at all. It's about two insidious things: voter suppression and election subversion. In his time, through his courage, his conviction, and his commitment, Dr. King held a mirror up to America and forced us to answer the question, where do we stand? Whose side are we on? We're in another moment right now where the mirror is being held up to America, being held up again. The question being asked again, where do we stand? Whose side are we on? Will we stand against voter suppression, yes or no? Will we stand against election subversion, yes or no? Will we stand up for an America where everyone is guaranteed the full protections and the full promise of this nation, yes or no? I know where I stand, and it's time for every elected official in America to make it clear where they stand. It's time for every American to stand up, speak out, be heard. Where do you stand? Whose side are you on? On this day of remembrance, service, and action, may God bless Dr. and Mrs. King and their family. And may God bless you all. And may God protect our troops. This historic investment for Ohio, one of the largest investments in semiconductor manufacturing in American history. A brand new $20 billion campus outside of Columbus, Ohio. 7,000 construction jobs. 3,000 full-time jobs. And I was kidding Pat earlier. I said, I may need a job. And I said, well, it's not bad. You start over $100,000 on the line, but I got to get some training. But look, at the singular, look, to be able to say, made in Ohio, made in America, is what we used to always be able to say 25, 30 years ago. We learned this week, after my first year as president, the United States had the fastest economic growth in nearly 4 decades, along with the greatest year of job growth in American history, 6.4 million jobs created in 1 year. And instead of losing manufacturing jobs, since I've been in office, America has actually added an additional 367,000 manufacturing jobs in America. Good paying jobs. The highest increase in U.S. manufacturing jobs in 30 years. And the key is these jobs are manufacturing essential products, stamped made in America.
This is what we're announcing today in Ohio, where we'll be announcing today the first 20 billion, one of these modules. The full site would be 8 modules that we would build out over the full build out of the site. This is about 1,000 acres, that we've taken here. But we're also have priority on building out potentially more at the site. If we build out the full site over the decade, which is our objective based on finishing the CHIPS Act to build out the full site, it would be this module, 8 sites, 8 full modules, which would be well over 10,000 jobs, over 100 billion of total investment over the course of the decade. And this becomes the most leading and largest semiconductor manufacturing location in the world. as we progress.
It really makes a gigantic difference, not just for the state of Ohio, but in terms of our competitive advantage. And by the way, this can have a gigantic impact in bringing back manufacturing to the heartland, too, across the board in the Midwest.
All the suppliers.
Nobody's calling us the Rust Belt anymore.